Hello friend, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Cotton and this is Cotton's Creations 42, and today we are going to learn how to make this awesome checkerboard beanie with a rolled brim that was inspired by the show Wednesday on Netflix. There was such amazing knitwear in that show. Cannot wait for season 2. But in the meantime, let's make a cool hat together. Are you ready? Let's go. Alright, so here we have a couple of examples of our checkerboard beanie with a rolled brim. This one I knitted with a single strand of worsted weight yarn, and this one I knitted with 2 strands of worsted weight yarn held together. Both of them fit my head. This one I blocked. This one I haven't blocked yet, and you can see there's a little bit of a difference there. This one is super duper warm, so just fair warning, if you do 2 yarns held together for this, you're going to get a nice big hat that is very, very warm. But they're both great. I love them both. Let's go ahead and take a look at this hat. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cast on 60 stitches on our size 9 needles, and we're going to knit 10 rows of our main color. In this case it was purple. And then our squares are going to be 5 stitches long and 6 rows high. Now normally when I do a hat that has floats on it, I don't like to do floats that are more than 4 stitches long, because sometimes they can hang down and get loose and get caught on things. But with this hat there's 5 stitches in each square, and I just said, you know what, it's fine. We're going to let it go. I don't want to do all those floats, or I don't want to capture all of those floats. So we're just going to let it be what it is, and you know what, it works out great. In fact, I kind of like the inside, the way that it looks. I think that it's a neat little pattern there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started, eh? I have got here a brim already going. I have knit 10 rows on my size 9 needles with a worsted weight yarn. I cast on 60 stitches. Now if you need help with casting on or working in the round on circular needles, I have a tutorial I will link down below to my basic beanie with a rolled brim, and that will teach you everything you need to know on how to do a cast on and all the fun stuff. But we're going to go ahead and get started here. I've got my main color in purple, and then I'm going to do my second color in this sparkly gray. So the first thing we're going to want to do to start our squares is we're going to capture our second yarn. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to take it with a little bit of a tail and lay it over my working yarn, just like that. And now I am going to knit 5 stitches in my main color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I will pick up my second color, and I'm going to make sure that I don't pull it tight, because A, I don't want to pull this out because this tail I'm going to weave in at the end, and B, my tension on these floats in the back needs to be very loose, because if it's not loose, you're not going to be able to fit your hat on your head. So go ahead and make sure that our tension is loose, and we will knit 5 in our second color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. Now, same thing. Pick up your main color and knit 5 more. And we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're just going to go around like that, around the whole hat. This gives us, I believe, 12 squares. And let's take a look at our example. So we've got 1, 2, 3 rows of main squares before we start our decreases. So we're going to do 12, 12, and 12. And yeah, we got this. This is so easy once you get the hang of it. It's a little bit tedious changing colors and making sure that your tension is nice and loose, but it's worth it, and it is fun, and you can watch lots of great TV shows like Wednesday Addams, it's called Wednesday. on Netflix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah. Make sure your tension is loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and knit the 6 rows on this set of squares. One thing I wanted to mention though before I let you get to it was that when you are using 2 colors like this and on circular needles, you're going to want to pull your loop up so that you have both colors on your right hand needle when you're knitting. It helps keep your tension even. So you just want to do it right after one of your second color squares, just to keep everything nice and awesome. Nice and awesome. All right, happy knitting. I will see you back here after we have knit 6 rows on this first set of squares. Okie dokie, I have finished my first row of squares. Now, if you're wondering why we do 6 rows for 5 stitches, it's because knitting stitches are slightly wider than they are tall. And so to make it look square, as squarish as possible, this is what worked for this pattern, in case you were curious. Now, we are going to change our colors because it is time to put gray squares on top of the purple squares and purple squares on top of the gray squares. And how we're going to do that is move our stitch marker over. We are going to wrap our purple yarn twice around our gray yarn. Our main color we're wrapping around our second color. And the reason I want to do that is because it will help break up this line that I'm going to create of gray, because I'm not actually like stopping anything. It's gonna be like a straight gray line if I don't do that. So wrap your main color around your second color, and you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but do at least pick up this float here because this is gonna be a long float. If you do nothing else, do that. And then we're just gonna knit like we did, just in the opposite colors. So we'll do 5 gray, and then we will switch. Again, making sure our tension is loose enough that we can fit this hat on our head later. And we knit 5 in the purple. And that's it. See, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, y'all. You can knit. Everyone can knit. Well, most everyone can knit. I believe that if I can do it, anyone can do it. So yeah, we're just gonna do 2 more squares, 2 more rows of squares. So we're gonna knit 12 more rows, and then I will be back here to show you how to do decreases and close up our hat. Alrighty, so I have finished my 3 rows of squares, and now it is time to start our decreases. And they're really simple in this pattern. We are going to knit 3, knit 2 together all the way around, and then we're going to knit 4 rows. So it's easy, super duper easy. Super duper easy. Okay, let's capture our yarn here and do our little twisty twist to break up that line. Let's do the first couple together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together, change colors, checking that tension, 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together. So we're going to continue our knit 3, knit 2 together until the end of this row, and then we are going to knit 4 rows. And then I will meet you back here for the next decreases. Okay, I have finished my first row of decreases, and then I knit 4 more rows, and now it's time for our second row of decreases. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit 2 together all the way around. We're going to change colors again. So we'll do that first. Untangle your yarns. Tangling and untangling your yarns is all the fun of knitting, stranded knitting, you know? All right, so let's do, here we go. 1, 2, knit 2 together. 1, 2, knit 2 together. 1, 2, knit 2 together. Now it's gonna get tight in here, so it's time to make our little bunny ears. And we'll do that first by pulling up one loop, and then we will pick a spot somewhere around the middle of over here, and we will pull out, let's put it here, we'll pull out a second loop. So now we have bunny ears, and we can work with our ever tightening circle. So I am going to finish my decrease row, and then I'm going to knit 2 rows after I finish the decrease row. And then I will be back here and we will do our next row of decreases. All right, finished my row of decreases, and then I knit 2 more rows. And now we're gonna do our next row of decreases, which is gonna be knit 1, knit 2 together all the way around, and then we're gonna knit 1 row after that. And we're almost done. We are almost done. It's so exciting. So, okay, let's do our little yarn twisty around while making sure none of these slip off my needles. One of the hazards of metal needles is things get slippery. Okay, so we are going to knit 1, knit 2 together, and keep with our bunny ears. Here we go. Knit 1, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, and then knit 1 row, and then I'll meet you back here for our last row. Okay guys, this is it. This is the last row. I did my knit 1, knit 2 together all the way around, and now we are going to pick a color and we are going to knit 2 together all the way around, and then I'm gonna weave in my ends, and then I'm gonna show you how I block my hat. So I'm gonna pick the gray, and we're just gonna knit 2 together, knit 2 together, knit 2 together. See how easy that is? Ugh, I love knitting. Knitting is the most fun because at the end you have this cool thing that you made. Who am I kidding? I love creating anything. I am just here to create things. I feel like it's one of our superpowers as humans, is our ability to create. Knit 2 together, knit 2 together, almost done. There's like 4 more stitches. 1, oops, 1, 2, 3, and last stitch. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, now let us go ahead and cut our yarns. Give us nice long tails to work with. And I'm gonna shove the purple yarn inside to weave in just a minute. And then I'm going to take my darning needle and find the beginning because everything got all weird. There we go. And now we're just going to bind off by slipping all of our live stitches onto our darning needle. Boop. Just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Ta-da! Now I can weave in all of these ends, which I'm going to do off camera, and then I will come back and show you how to block your awesome new checkerboard beanie. Ah, I love it. It's so cool. All right, I'll see you in just a bit. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and block this hat. I have my hat on my styrofoam head and I have my steamer. I'll go ahead and turn that on and bring it up to steam. You want to block an acrylic hat with a steamer because it will not block any other way. Because basically what you're doing is you are melting your acrylic yarn and you are shaping it to be the shape that you want. So you need to be real quick about it and keep your hands out of the steam. But I just kind of go like this. And then I'll shape it. Just kind of make it nice and rounded. Go around here. You don't want to do it too much because you can melt your yarn to the point where it like will not hold its shape anymore. So you just want to be quick and careful. Get all the little bumps out. And yeah, that's about all there is to it. So thank you for watching my tutorial. I hope that you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun making these hats. And yeah, happy knitting, y'all. Bye.